Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to have you today. I am glad to have you today, Friday afternoon or Friday evening. My name is Jonan Kandwanoho, and I'm the CEO and founder of Jonaki Holdings Limited. And at Jonaki Holdings Limited, we offer credit, we give loans, affordable loans, super quick. We do it in a short time. And for those return clients, we actually give you the loans without necessarily coming to office. You can apply online and you receive your money. So that's what we do. And you can always check us out at www.jonakiholdings.com. Yes, so it's a pleasure to have you today. And you can always check out these videos on my YouTube, Jonan Kandwanoho, and subscribe. Click on that bell so that the moment you upload a video, you can get notified. So let's look forward to having you to share with you because the Bible says in Proverbs that iron sharpens iron. So we come here to sharpen one another. You learn one thing, I also learn from you. So it's a pleasure to have you every Friday from 5:30 as we get to converse and talk. So today we have quite an interesting topic, and it's part 2 of the series that are running. There will be 7 of them. So this part 2 is the whole talk has been on the 7 cures for a lean pass. So the lean pass is if you don't have money in your wallet. That's the description. The lean pass. If your pass is small, if you have little money, than the money you use to spend, than the money you use to invest, than the money you use to grow. Or if you earn little money than the money you need. I know money has never been enough, but yes, there's a level you're supposed to be at. More so if you're Christian, if you're a kingdom person. There's a level you're meant to be at. There are some struggles you're not supposed to be fighting. Of where you should skip lunch or not, of whether you should have breakfast or not. Those are not the conversations, especially Christians, should actually be having. Because in Psalms 24:1 it says that the earth and everything therein belongs to the Lord. So if everything belongs to the Lord, so how come you're struggling to even have a meal? So how come you're struggling to even feed your family? So as a Christian, it's not important. It's very key that you should actually not struggle financially. And that's the lean pass we're talking about. So all these cures that I'll be describing are cures for a lean pass. So if you have a lean pass, if you're struggling to live, if you're just living by, you're supposed to be thriving, not struggling. You're supposed to be thriving. So those are the cures that I've been taking you through. So today we are discovering a second cure for a lean pass. The cure that can actually help you grow your incomes. The first cure, I already highlighted that you're meant to start earning or increase your income, or increase your ability to earn. So you're supposed to be earning some money because the Lord blessed you those hands to do some work. The Lord blesses those hands to do some work. Thessalonians 2, it still says that those who shall not work should not eat. So most if you have hands and you can walk, you can talk, you're supposed to be working. And if you're not working, you're not supposed to eat. Unless you're too young. And the parents are still taking care of you. Perhaps you're still at school, no. But even then, we've seen innovators who have done work. And they are paid. We've seen students, very young children. And they're doing some commercial activities. They're doing some things at school and they're earning. So what of you, an adult? What of you? What about you as an adult? You're meant to earn. So that was the first part of the 7 cures for a lean pass. So the second part is to control your expenditure. You see, even if you earn like how, even if you earn 100 million per day, you still somehow can spend it. So it's not about reducing your expenditure actually. Quote me well. It's controlling your expenditure. So you need to control. If the funnel should be the standard way, from up to down. Meaning that you should earn much based on the first cure. So as you earn much, you shouldn't spend all that much. You should have a way how you can actually control how much comes out of the funnel. If you earn, for example, 2 million shillings, you should control how much comes out. And you only pay yourself by investing or by saving the amount of money of the much that you actually earn. So the key thing today, or the part 2, is controlling your expenditure. And until you look in that angle, you'll earn a lot of money, you'll earn thousands and thousands of dollars, but you still struggle financially. Why? Because as the money comes in, it is going through a ditch. It's like a hole. It's like a black hole. You know, it keeps sucking the money. So until you learn how to control how the money comes in and how it comes out, you can actually struggle all through your life, trying to earn as much, and definitely earning as much you'll earn. But if you don't keep any, you'll keep struggling. It's a treadmill, meaning that you can never achieve what it is that you want to achieve. And more so, you cannot even achieve what it is that the Lord has planned you to achieve, because you're not meant to work hand to mouth. There are some great exploits that the Lord has prepared you for, that you're meant to explore, that you're meant to do, that you're meant to address, that if you kept financially incapacitated, you cannot address them. That if you kept financially incapacitated, you cannot sponsor those children that the Lord has prepared you to sponsor. That you cannot do those causes that the Lord has prepared to do. You will not build those hospitals that the Lord has prepared you to build. Why? Because all the money that you earn is actually sieving through. It is actually running through. Why? Because you fail to tap it. You will not create that company. You will not create those investments that the Lord has actually helped you to start the ideas that the Lord has given you. I've sat with a number of guys and they have amazing ideas. You sit with someone and he has amazing ideas. But you ask yourself, when will this guy ever implement at least one of the ideas? And until you have the money to implement any of the ideas, you'll keep dreaming. You'll not bring those ideas, you'll not bring those dreams to fruition unless you have the resources to support them. The Lord, yes, can give you the vision and the provision, but you have to be aligned. You have to know that the income you're earning has to start something, the idea that you have. But you see, if you've dreamt of starting a business, perhaps you're formally employed as of now, and you've dreamt of starting a business, you need money to start a business. And more so, if you check out one of my talks, you don't need to have a debt. You don't need to borrow money to start a business. I advise that you save your own money and then you can start a business. It's a very wrong one to start a business on a debt. It's on a wrong note that you started that business. And before you know it, I'm not a prophet of doom, but it will collapse. It will fail on you. Why? Because you started on a wrong footing. Remember, the business has not even peaked, has not even thrived, but you're already paying interest. So where will you get the money to pay the interest? So the key thing is you are supposed to limit the amount of money that gets out of your hands. If you're earning money, yes, you have to monitor. You have to control your expenditure. And it's only then that you're going to do the great exploits that the Lord has put on your heart, that the ideas that the Lord has put in your head. Until then, you're going to keep dreaming, you're going to keep highlighting, you're going to keep saying them out, but alas, you will not execute them. You will not deliver on them. Why? Because those ideas need resources. Those ideas need money, which money you do not have. The money is not going to fall from the sky and it falls on you. So you have to have it, you have to save it. And this informs today's talk, which is controlling your expenditure. So one of the ways you could be there and you're asking, now we've had, I have these ideas, I have all these things. How do I proceed from here? So how you proceed from here is to do the following. I mean, I might not suffice or on the list of the things that you're meant to do, but these key things, if you start on them, they will help a lot. Because I am not telling you something that I have not done. I am not yet there. It's a disclaimer. I am not yet there, but I know I'm on the right footing to going there. And if we walk this journey together, definitely we shall get there together. Definitely we shall meet at the top together. So one of the things is to have a budget. Now you realize that some of these things are not new. They are not new. You perhaps read about them, you perhaps heard about them. They are not new. But you see, until you take them on, until you implement them, you cannot benefit of them. And you cannot actually grow. You'll keep hearing, you'll waste your time here, your data, and you still not grow. So the key thing is a budget. So the budget is one of the things that will help you tap some of the monies that you earn so that it can work for you, so that you can have some bit of savings to actually help you start that idea, start that business that you've been dreaming about. So have a budget. If you're married person, sit down with your wife, draft that budget that you can run on. And you see, having a budget is not mising, is not economizing, is not giving out. Actually, the budget gives you the freedom to spend. Why? Because you know it at the heart of hearts that, you know what, I've saved a particular percentage of my money, I have invested part of my money, and I'm going to give part of my money. If you're Christian, you're meant to tithe. Because in Micah chapter 3, verse 10, it tells us that the Lord rebukes the devourer. So if you don't tithe, that means the money is exposed to very many hands that the devil has planted. So you're meant to tithe 10% of your income. So this budget thing should have all these items highlighted, so that you can know that out of this amount of money I earn, I can give this, I can spend this, I can tithe this. And ultimately, you'll get the audacity of saying, you know what, under this budget item for this month, it is fully spent. So what I need to do is that I can postpone this item to the following month. Why? Because you have a budget. Now you can imagine if you don't have a budget, you cannot make such a decision. Why? Because you don't have any basis for such a statement. So you cannot postpone some of the expenditures, you cannot postpone some of the expenses. Why? Because you do not know how much you spent on them. You do not know how much it is that you have allocated to them. So you cannot even prioritize. So if you cannot direct where your money should go, you actually will keep wondering where your money has gone. You end the month, or the month will end before the money. Safai says, you have a shorter month than the amount of money that you have. Why? Because you're not directing where your money should go. So it's important, whether you're married or not, whether you're a student or not, that you have a budget. And to start with, you have to first be earning first before you can think of a budget. Because if you don't have anything you're earning, then what will you budget for? And that explains why you should watch part 1 of these cures for a lean path, for a lean pass. So you need to first watch so that you can scale up your income or earn something, then you can start budgeting. Now, you realize that I didn't say reduce your expenditure, because this is where you could be at, and the money that you're earning at the moment is not even enough at all. And the money has never been enough, yes, but you may realize that it is too little. You're perhaps earning 200,000 or 300,000. So what you have to do is that you have to scale up your income, increase your income. You have to identify ways of how you can increase your income, but with the little money that you're earning, you still can budget on what you can live on and then start saving some. And you can actually realize that these percentages can vary from one percentage to the other. Whereas I can afford to say that I can spend maybe 20% of my income, you could be earning a lot of money and you can afford to spend 10%. Because you can imagine if I earn 1 billion shillings a month, 1% is actually enough to make me walk through the month, or 2%. So it depends. So you need to adjust your percentages based on how much it is that you earn per month. So meaning that if you earn 1 million shillings, you have to play around with the fractions. You can actually live on maybe 70% of your income, and then 10% your tithe, and then the other money for giving, and then savings. Then as you scale up your income, you can actually keep twisting the percentages. So budget. If you've not been having a budget you've been running on, start budgeting now. Have a budget. Have a budget. Have a budget. That's point number 1. And then point number 2 is to monitor or track your expenditure. Track your expenditure. There are lots of apps that have been put forward. I personally use some application called Expense Manager. Download it on your phone. You have WhatsApp on your phone. You have a number of applications on your phone, some of which you don't even use, some of which are not even necessary, some of which even encourage you to spend a lot. So how about you install some apps that are relevant, that are important? So I have an application that is called Expense Manager that I use. So every expenditure that I make, I capture that expenditure. Whether it's giving, whether it's fueling the car, whether it's buying lunch, whether it's an outing. I have all those categories highlighted. So I'm not caught off guard. So at the end of the month, I sit down with my wife and we discuss, these are the things that we planned out to spend on. How are we doing? If you're married, sit down at the end of the month. Get in a nice place, very cool place. At the end of the month, look through. If we set out this budget, how did we perform? You see, you cannot perfect this thing from the word go. Don't blame yourself. Don't beat yourself up. All these habits are grown. It will start as a trait. It will become a behavior. It will translate into a habit. You cannot grow from the word go to grow it to a habit. It is a gradual process. We didn't start where we're at. So when you overshoot somewhere, don't blame yourself. Learn one or two things, adjust until you can thrive within that budget, until you can know your items that you spend on, until you can know how to prioritize. Because if you don't have this expense manager, you can keep wondering where the money has gone. Why? Because I will not know how much I've spent on giving, or how much I've spent on lunch, or how much I've spent on entertainment if I've not been tracking it. I'll give you an assignment. If you may sit down this Friday, sit in a nice cafe or sit somewhere and try to remember, jot down all the things that you've spent on since Monday and find out how hard it is. Write down, you do that as an exercise. Write down the number of things you spent on since Monday. Now, after realizing how cumbersome that is, you'll come to realize that it is very, very hard. It is very, very complicated to sit down and jot down the expenses that you spent on since the month started. You'll be lying to yourself. You'll be lying to yourself. But you see, it's just like how you check on your WhatsApp. Before you spend, ask yourself, have I noted it down? Have I jotted it down? Have I captured it? Because it's only then that you can actually come the end of a month and track how much you spent on what. So first thing, have a budget. Second thing, track your expenditure. Track your expenditure. And in doing all the things, you're trying to control your expenditure. Because until you control your expenditure, you'll keep wondering where your money has gone. Finally, there are quite a number of things, of course. There are quite a number of items you can highlight or you can read about. But I thought I could highlight these two key things or three key things that you can look at to control your expenditure and then have some bit of money or perhaps start growing your purse. Because ask yourself, we earn different amounts of money. So how come at the end of the month, most of the people are broke? You find you're working with people, others earn 10 million, 15 million, 30 million, 5 million, and even you who earns 2 million, at the end of the month, you find you're almost on the same age. You're almost all broke. Why? Because we fall in the same bracket. We have similar habits that we've been nurturing for a long while. And it will take a long while, though not as much as it has taken to reach there. It will take a long while to also nurture yourself, to grow yourself, to educate yourself, to get to the level you intend to get at. And until you start the journey now, you will not get there. You will not get there. You will not get there. So how about you start now? Start now, have that budget, control your expenditure, download that app, put it in your phone, keep tracking your expenditure. And at the end of the day, you'll come to appreciate the time that you've committed here this Friday to listen to this talk. And this is one of the key cures for a lean purse. Until you do that, the money will come through your hands and you'll keep wondering where your money has gone. You'll keep wondering where your money has gone. So implement this, and implement this. You'll have valued your time and my time. So I thank you for watching through. Check out the part 1, the cure number 1, and why not? We shall meet at the top. If you grow financially, we shall meet at the top. And I pray that you take this serious and that you support yourself to grow financially. And in supporting yourself, you'll be supporting a number of people, because then you'll birth those ideas that you've always dreamt about. You'll get to employ many people, which many people have very many dependents, which many dependents have their needs, and they can actually get to grow or get to study or get to educate just because you started that idea and you birthed the company out of there and employed a number of people. I see our time is fast spent. I'd like to appreciate your time. Endeavor to check out my YouTube channel, subscribe, like it, and then we meet there at the top. I thank you, I appreciate you for your time. God bless the works of your hands. God protect you and cover you, and enjoy the rest of the weekend. God richly bless you. Bye-bye for now. Thanks for watching. Richard, I send you greetings. Frank, Saith, Julius, and all my other colleagues. I send you greetings and have a blessed evening. Bye-bye.